Welcome back to Be Honest Radio, right here on IntellectualRadio.com, courtesy of iHeartRadio. I am your host, Jay Davis, aka the Nimble Sexable. I'm joined by my beautiful co-host.
Jay messed me up every week. Every single week he messed me up. He act like he don't know what. Okay, so anyways, I'm Crystal Iris. Forget it. I'm Crystal Iris, the boss extraordinaire, aka the finer lady of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. Okay, Z5.
I was gonna say sweet like dead meat, but you.
Yeah, I was waiting for it, but you messed up the whole thing, so it's okay. Go ahead, move on. Move on, Jay. Move on. Move on, Jay.
Late. Anyway. How you doing
told
today?
You we was in a situation.
How you doing today, Sugarfoot?
I'm good, baby. How you doing?
I'm same old thing out in these streets.
You mean from work here? That was so productive.
The current events. Oh yeah. Only thing I got, Joe Biden decided he's gonna announce he's running for president tomorrow. Right. And he's like 106 years old, so I want to see how that work out. He's older than Bernie, so I want to know, like, the Bernie Sanders supporters are gonna be kind of confused. The Democratic Party is gonna be kind of confused. I don't know. That's all I got. I don't. Look, first of all, I've told you this several times, and you refuse. I don't read. I use my Wikipedia research and go from there.
Well, you like to keep up with the mess, so okay.
Yeah, I want to see like trash. Oh, and those two parents got arrested for that little baby that died. So good. I hope
that's crazy.
Something bad happened to those parents. That's about it.
Okay. So Jay totally skipped. Okay, anyways. Again, he keep messing up. So it's a To Be Honest radio show where we talk about real, raw, and honest conversations about dating and relationships and sometimes some other stuff. So tonight, we're getting to know two hot poets. Two hot poets from here in Chicago. One is my very own best friend, Michelle Andrea. And then we have Hood.
Peace and blessings, everybody. How y'all doing?
Okay. He goes as Hood Rays. We'll hear from them, and then we'll jump into our conversation of the night where we're talking about it ain't none of your friends' business.
True.
Ain't none of your friends' business. So we're trying to find out. Okay.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Okay.
Oh, Lord.
So we're trying to find out what the friend's role is within a relationship. So, you down, Jay? You good?
I guess my friends ain't. Sometimes I got some. You see my friends. Some of them I can't even talk to y'all. Sometimes like you love them, but don't deal with the stuff I got to deal with.
You have good friends.
Not good and terrible.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
Shout out to Diesel. And
First
Jack.
of all, you threatened to kill Jack. Twice.
I did.
Okay.
No, I didn't. Let's clarify. I did not threaten to kill him. I threatened to fight him.
Okay.
I just asked him the way that he was talking to me, was he ready to fight? You know, we were planning Jay's. Okay.
Do you need backup?
The friend's role in
Do you need backup?
My girl. My girl. Okay, we were planning Jay's birthday party, and I'm trying to plan something for him. And Jack, I guess I was trying to get information, and Jack didn't want to give me the promoter's information, talking about who wants to give away the information, all this stuff. So Jack got frustrated with me and was like, I'm done with this. Diesel, come and help her or whatever. So I was like, do you want to fight me or something? It was a fight. It was all love.
You almost got into a fight over a peaceful celebration. That's what you almost got into a fight over.
Look, there's a few things you don't mess with. It's my friends, my man, okay, and my food, and my family, of course. And I'm ready to fight. So, I'm
sorry. This is off topic. But shout out to my sister and your mom who found out they were both cancer free.
Yay!
Nice. Congrats.
Hey, Mama B. That's right.
Okay.
Yes.
Now we can continue.
We fighting over here. See, we fighting. We are not just surviving. We are living.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. So we're gonna jump into this, Miss Michelle, Andrea, and Hood Raised. Y'all ready?
Let's get it.
You ready?
All right. So we'll just throw out some questions and then you guys can kind of piggyback,
Okay.
ping pong back and forth. That's cool.
That's cool.
Cool. Okay. So how did you get started in poetry?
I've been writing my entire life. Years old.
I'm like, wait a minute, we didn't hear that. We didn't hear that.
And I've growing up in the era I grew up in, hip hop was a way of life. Family DJs, cousins, all hip hop artists, spitting at block parties, stuff like that. The old school crush groove movement. And then
Chris was looking at you like, "What is this crush groove you talking about?"
Yeah,
Quiet.
see,
She's a
That's-
youngster.
I mean,
She's a
I get it.
youngster.
I
It's
get
It's
it,
all right,
not the
bro.
same thing.
I'm with
Thank
But
you.
it's
you,
okay.
best friend.
but it's okay.
It's never like
We're gonna since I'm gonna be the elder statesman
Brother,
sitting here.
I'm
We
with
gonna
you.
we gonna
I'm
we
with-
gonna
I know what
we
crush
gonna
groove is.
learn these youngins some then,
Thank you.
Uh,
So
I be
y'all
saying,
old.
I be saying stuff to her. She's
What
like,
I'm
"What are
trying
you
to say.
talking about?" She look at me like I said something disgusting sometimes.
so I grew up with where hip hop was about the words, and then it started to be more about the sound. Then I got introduced into spoken word in 2006. And when I entered the open mic, found out there was a place where messages could still be heard, positive messages, words, lyricism, all that still mattered, and I just kind of found my home there.
Awesome. What about you, Miss Michelle Andrea?
Well, I've probably been writing since I was about like 10, 9. It started off as journaling. So that's what I started with. Like I started to journal. I got my first journal at somebody's birthday party. And a journal one day turned into writing, turned into finding books of like Langston Hughes and Maya Angelou in the library that turned into actually writing pieces. And so that's kind of like how I got my start. I just started journaling and then it turned into writing and now it's something I do almost every day. So
Nice.
yeah.
That's what's up.
So yeah.
Huh?
Okay, so
I'm answering questions. I'm sorry.
okay.
Just
Are
kidding.
you
They're not
so how are
important
you?
questions.
Oh my gosh. So what inspires you all to write?
For me it's anything. So it could be I could hear a song and it brings back a certain memory and that can inspire like a new piece. Or it could be like a family get together and I'm just like off a natural high of, family and love and fun times. Or I could be in a sad emotional state or something like that, girl stuff. And I could be I could be in a mood to write about, I don't know, relationships or something like that. So for me, I'm mainly inspired to write by what I see every day.
Just life.
Yeah, just
That's
life.
what's up.
Yeah.
Go on,
So that's
girl.
me.
Because I know your work.
I was gonna say something similar to that. And honestly, most real poets, that's their inspiration. It's life. That's the that's the key behind everything. I mean, poetry is in life. You can be poetic in the way you walk. You can be poetic in the way your mannerisms. All that matters. So me, I kind of target now the youth. There's a lot of programs out for the young ladies and the queens. Like my daughter's part of a princess program. Shout out to K-Love, Kendria, K-Love Harris. Somebody y'all need to get in tune with if you're not yet. And she also has a program called Treat Me Like a Queen from 12-year-olds to 18-year-olds. So I focus more on the young men. You know what I mean? I'm urban realism. I want to get in the streets with them, show them, hey, it's a new direction. That's part of the reason I took on the name Hood Raised, because I want them to know I come from where they come from, but I got a different direction on where we're going with it.
That's what's up.
Where do you all usually perform poetry at?
For me, I have not performed in a very long time. I'm talking about years. Like I took a break with just other life stuff going on. So I always continue to write. But probably the last performance I had was at a spoken word cafe in Atlanta when I was living there. Okay. So I used to do their open mics like once every Blue Moon, not consistently, but that's the last time I performed. So
I literally
This
do
guy.
it full time.
Right.
So
really?
everywhere.
Maybe everywhere.
I host an open mic called Eddie Sundays every first Sunday of the month, 6624 West North Avenue. We literally just celebrated our 7-year anniversary on April 7th. Monday morning, I was on Channel 26, The Jam, performing a piece about sexual assault awareness. Anywhere there's an open mic or anywhere where there's a wedding, whatever it's called, whatever the scenario calls for, I'm somewhere
Wherever
performing.
I can go.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Okay.
And I low-key know him from Addie Sundays. I used to go in 2014, just a little plug, and it is a good show. Like, I stopped going when I moved away, but back in 2014 for like maybe a year straight, I was always at Addie Sunday. I was real low key though with it, hat, sweats, and some sneakers, and I would sit in the back. Enjoying, little cocktail.
Yeah,
and some poetry.
That's what's up.
It's dope though.
Jay, we're gonna have to hit that up.
Yeah, please come on and get on involved. You can get on the mic, or you just come and enjoy the vibe.
Jay,
what you mean?
What would your poetry sound like?
Ooh.
I don't know.
Jay will go up there talking about a whole bunch of jokes.
Somebody will get offended. I'm sure.
Exactly.
I'll be the only poet. Somebody get offended. The deaf people still hate me. Anyway.
Exactly. Go up there with a quick haiku.
So, what does poetry do for you?
For me, it's like my piece, so to speak. Like it's like no matter how I'm feeling, I'm always gonna write, and so it's like an outlet for me. I'm so busy every day, like I work in technology, so I do a bunch of nerd stuff and manage software development and code.
Okay, because my friend's smart.
So thank you, girl. But yeah, so for me, it's just another outlet. It's something I like to do because I don't like to just be strictly about IT stuff. And actually, I started off in college as an education major. I was an English education major. I wanted to write. I wanted to be a journalist, and I wanted to teach. And then I decided after going to a school, what do you call it, peer, like student shadowing, like a teacher for those who want to be in the classroom, and I hated it. Sorry, education was for me. And I decided I would just write, and then I would go into IT. So, but for me in general, it's like my piece.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Is every IT person trained to tell you to turn your computer off and turn it back on? That is so infuriating.
You know what?
Our computer's on fire, sir.
What's so funny is if you're a software developer, sometimes they may miss the smallest things and they'll call like somebody in IT support, and then it just turns out that maybe the cord got unplugged. Or it'll be something
like,
super.
First things first.
It's
Turn it off.
It's like some people are too smart for their own good. So sometimes that has happened. Like we end up knocking the Wi-Fi off at our house. My nephew did it actually. And then it turned out that the cord just had slipped out the outlet. And no one in the house, and my mom's at IT too, and I am as well. Nobody in the house plugged it in. And my sister was like, I'm the nurse, and I'm in here with a bunch of IT folks, and y'all don't even know to plug in the Wi-Fi box. It was hilarious.
Oh my god!
But anyway, yeah.
And what about you? What does poetry do for you? Hood raised.
As cliche as it sounds, it literally saved my life.
Okay.
I come from the West Side.
What side?
Proud of the West Side.
Holy
yeah. See, the fact you said West Side tells me that you from the suburbs. Okay, so
don't hate.
I come from a segment on the West Side called Holy City, where it's
a segment. It ain't holy.
It's poverty, it's drugs, it's the cliche things you hear about, you know what I'm saying, from the neighborhood. But I seen death, I seen drugs, I seen it all, literally in my household to into the streets where I walk daily to go to school. So writing gave me stories to tell. Mm-hmm. Some of my most passionate and personal stories are about where I came from, the things I went through, and that giving a voice, people kind of took notice of it, and it gave me different platforms to go speak, to go heal, to go teach, and it gave me purpose, and you can't survive without purpose.
I love you saying those words, healing and purpose, because it's not very many men that talk about that. It's usually a lot of women that'll talk about healing and purpose and things like that, but you don't hear that from men. So thank you.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So did you guys how are you studying or celebrating, I should say, how are you celebrating National Poetry Month?
You know, by coming on the show.
That's all you got me,
No, seriously, because I mean, I write every day, so it's not a thing. Like I might pick up an extra book this month.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. Yeah, I may read something super old by like one of my favorite writers or something.
You often write like on your posts and Facebook.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm like
Instagram. All pictures have a poem attached to it.
My captions are 100% poetic.
Oh my God!
At all times, everybody tells me that.
Sending a friend request right now.
Like seriously,
check it all out.
Like some of my friends like ask me to write like introduction speeches, like for family members, or like grievances cards and stuff like that. So I think it's just because it comes easy for me, so I could like instantly be empathetic and like put myself in a position I could write something and tell them, hey, change the names, just take that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What are you doing?
It's
he always
different.
on the mic.
Right, I'm saying it's my job, so I have to. I'm on the stage somewhere, but one of my favorite things is as me and a lot of my peers, we always challenge each other to do 30 poems in 30 days. It's a writing challenge. And as easy as it may sound, it's really not.
Sound easy
That don't
sound easy at all. I'm trying to think of what do I do 30 times in a month. Like I can't.
It is. We've been doing it for some years now. It's the challenge. It's the 30 poems in 30 days. And last year we kind of took it up a notch. It was 30 different styles of poetry in 30 days. So we had to do research, find out the line structure, the delivery techniques, all that, and then write it and then post it. So it was difficult.
Yeah. And you're doing this full time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how many days am I behind? Because I didn't know about that. It's the 24th, so I'm like 20. I got one poem today. So I'm in a hole. But baby, I can write. I might catch up because it just pours out.
I'm sure you can write 30 poems tonight. You can write 30 haikus.
On the high. I'm not sleeping tonight.
Let's get that pen moving then. Let's do it.
On my heart. Bleeding heavy.
So, what advice would you give people who are thinking about performing their poetry on a larger circuit?
Well, I consider Hood Raised an expert. So before he answers, I would just say I feel like people should be authentically them and not about. Sometimes people get into the theatrics.
Like the snapping
of poetry. No, baby. You gotta snap at the end when it's hitting you. That's good. But some people get into like voice fluctuations, and I'm gonna do. Some people really get into more of the theatrics, and I think sometimes it's good because sometimes a piece requires that, and you have to tell a story. But I do think people who are interested in doing it should be more concerned with the words that they're choosing and what they're doing. Because shout out to LT. Crystal and I had etymology. Didn't you take etymology?
Yes. I did.
So we took etymology, which is study of words. So literally, I don't know, it's like flipping through a dictionary, literally breaking down every word, every letter in the word. And it's very interesting to do that. So to me, my advice is I always care about lyrics. I've been like that with music and in poetry. I don't care if you got the dopest beat. What exactly are you saying? And so I feel like, you just have to, work at your craft and kind of be intentional and know what message you're trying to convey in your piece. Because it should have a purpose. It shouldn't just be words on the paper. So that's my advice.
Great advice. Bring something to the forefront. First, there's a dichotomy there. There's poetry and then there's spoken word. Two different
That's
things.
2 different things.
For our GED listeners, please explain that.
Explain. Yes.
Okay. Poets put an emphasis on the words, like exactly what she just said. Like, she's a poet by nature. She's a writer, a journalist. The words are the focal point. Spoken word artist. I'm more of a spoken word artist. I'm both, but I'm more of a spoken word artist than a poet. I'm a performer. I'm an entertainer. I can turn Hickory Dickory Dock into theatrics on stage. And that's what spoken word artists put an emphasis on. So that's when you'll see a difference in cadence and pitch and variation and speed, the things that matter in delivery. As far as that should be the first thing they decide. If you want to be a poet, I mean, you can go to a poetry reading and you'll sit in the cut and be like, I'll have my cheese and crackers, and we'll sit.
Wait a second. It is not that. It is not that stuffy. It's not that.
Hey, listen. I'm just serious.
He's trying to say poet is lame.
No, I'm not.
Naturally, he is a spoken word artist. So I get what he's saying.
No, I'm saying that's honestly the difference, because if you were to attend sets from different sides of town, you'd be able to tell.
Yeah.
You could tell the difference in a reading that, say, at the Green Mile up north versus if you come to the south side on 75th versus when you come to on the west side. And it's not just the words, it's the style. So when you start writing, if some of the poems are strictly for you, so you might not want to share it, and you might want to just get some things off your chest. Then you focus more on the poetry. But if you want to be on the stage, if you're interested in the following, if you want to do a CD, if you want to do books and stuff like that, spoken word is more what you lean towards. So then you have to do a little bit more studying. Yeah. Recognize that you can't be. It's okay to be nervous. I'm nervous before every time I perform. So it's not about the nerves. It's about being able to face the fears and get up there and just be yourself.
Anyway.
Just
do it. Yeah. That's what's up.
So we're talking reading. I did not know the difference. I gotta start reading more. I thought it was the same thing, honestly.
No. And the GED listeners.
There's so many variations. And I will say, in poetry, because I'm traditionally more of a poet, there are different styles of it. Okay. So like, what I have today is like free form. It's like anything goes. It doesn't have to rhyme, but it does. But it's different things you can do with it. So you could be eating cheese and crackers, like he said, like a Shakespeare piece, or you could be sipping a glass of wine, listening to like a smooth poet with some jazz music behind it or something. Absolutely. You know what I mean? It's different ways you can do it. So I've done like both, except for I haven't been that stuffy. But
no, I mean, I don't think any of it is really stupid.
I know what you mean.
I'm pretty sure I listen to your poetry. I'd be sitting with my pinky up.
Don't worry. I'm gonna have to get on that at ease just once.
You've been at ease, so just come back.
Once, at least.
We want you to come back, please.
Yes. So we're talking to Michelle Andrea and Hood Rays. They are some dope poets from here in Chicago. If you would like to talk to them, ask them questions, the phone number here is 708-223-8953. Again, that's 708-223-8953. So we're going to listen to some of y'all stuff real quick, right? Some of y'all pieces.
Yeah.
Okay. Who going first? Maybe you first? Michelle Andrea? Okay. Go ahead, Michelle Andrea.
No pressure, huh?
You the icing.
I feel pressured now.
Let me be the cake. I'm the flour. You be the eggs. I'm low-key a baker. All right, let me get serious. Okay, so I'll do this one. All right, so Who I Am is the title of this. All right. Waiting on the world to catch up with what lies within my soul. Had the same mind and heart since I was 14 years old. Living one life, purest heart, made of gold. Wondering when I'll reap all that I have sowed. I am built from a different kind of breed. Midwest may have raised me, but I'm from the Southeast. Alabama bloodline Indy as in Indiana born free. But if I die tomorrow, bury me next to Matilda in Hopewell, Alabama, to my great grandmother. May she rest in peace. My life has been a dream, book smarts from the gods, bachelor's in '09, then master's just like my mom. Imagine a world built from family, my family, laughter through sorrows, joys, and tears. Tall and strong do I rise, and have I risen from all things feared. I've experienced love, a love which at one point was unbreakable, soulfully bound to the rise of what seemed unchangeable. Connected at the hip, but ended love is a reflection of my truth. Direction no longer mattered back then when I realized our love would never survive our youth. My life has been blessed. Many seas have I traveled through ups and downs. My heart, my mind never left unraveled. My life continues to unfold, many things left to complete. One day, I hope I'll finally say, thank you, self, for never accepting defeat. So I've lived a life I'm proud of, and I love, and the love of life feeds my soul. Only one man in his life on this earth that's truly ever made me whole. Thank you, God. Head raised high, crown on, smiling from within, loyal to the day I die, to my family, Pattersons, Harrises, friends, to my bestie, hey girl, to myself, Michelle Andrea, for the win.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Woo! Go ahead, best friend.
She ready.
She ready. That was nice.
Thank you.
You're supposed to say, and that's that piece.
And that's that piece.
You gotta say that all sexy.
Right, and that's that piece.
Okay. All right, Hood Race. What you got? What you got? Your sister say, snap, snap, snap.
Okay.
Janelle.
This the pieces I said I were going to perform was based around relationships because I thought that's the direction we were going.
Yeah, we're going there.
Okay, so this piece is called Special Lady. I confess. Lady, your finesse is doing something to my psyche. And I'm attracted to beautiful minds, so I appreciate the fact that your pen game is mighty, but don't take my words lightly. Because the texture of your flesh is like my favorite flavor, and then screaming out, hood, bite me. With a phenomenal feminine physique that had to be sculpted by the goddess of love herself, Aphrodite. We're both inner and outward beauty. You had to be the perfect ending in many men's fairy tales. I myself have longed for the moment where our bodies will become connected, yet lying parallel as we gravitate to the point of physical climax or true bliss, whichever is defined first. But I'm speaking on terms of sensuality, not sexuality, because as a man, I realize I gotta make love to your mind first. These feelings, I confess, are so complex, they can't be expressed in a simplistic way because I desire you. But it'll be ungentlemanlike to express out loud some of the things I desire to do. Like, use the tip of my tongue, find a sweet spot, and extinguish some of that fire in you. But this ain't pillow talk. Because she's both eye candy and spirit food, so she's a full course meal. She's kind of beyond shady, a special kind of lady with all sorts of appeal, but still she'll send me through ups and downs like obstacle courses. So of course I can only give you the good portions of how I truly feel. Both feet planted in reality. Mind deep rooted in spirituality, so she's an aspen that stands out in the forest. Been known to stand steadfast in my corner, even when my decisions are porous. In fact, when it comes to bad judgment, I'm notorious. So she's both Faith Evans and Lil Kim. The way she easily transitions from being my little lady, happy homemaker type to being my not so subtle, freaky best friend. With a simplistic sense of sexuality, so she'll just get in the mood and give me that little grin, and I begin to envision potential physical scenarios, and my patience starts to run a little thin like a waistline. I'm not known as a dude who wastes time, so I get eager to get deep into the melody of her soul like a bass line. And every time she kisses me, I get tipsy like I taste wine. She's always standing there with me instead of against me, like she knows our faith to shine, all that plus her face, fine.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Jay said he got a little something after that. What you got, Jay? And it better be good too.
Right. Oh, he gotta get sick.
There once was a woman from China. For $40, you can buy a piece of her papaya. Excuse me? She was Mexican and she sold fruit. Jesus Christ. On that note, we're going to take a quick break. And we're going to come right back to Be Honest Radio. Right here on IntellectualRadio.com.
Yeah. Just want to tell you how I feel. It's rare that a fella finds a gold mine. Right. And I ain't letting go. I'ma hold mine. Had a plethora of chicks, but for her I cut them off. Didn't even hit her but last time. Nah, I was doing shit the past time. But this girl here, she's my pastime. I know it sounds sprung on me, but she can have it all like she got a gun to me. I'm frequently asked what the hell she done to me. I tell them to understand you'd have to have one of these. Type of girl that you want round. Got me feeling like I scored a winning touchdown. They can talk, we ain't worried about them. They know that one of her is worth 10 of them. Shit, and that's the reason for the shutdown. You know, gon' bring the hook in now. They make plays, but I can't go. Shut it down, shut it down, shut it down, shut it down. They may talk, but they don't know. Shut it down, shut it down, shut it down, shut it down.
See me in the XJ with 8 ball, looking fly in a jet takeoff, pulling up for the squadron. She wanna shoot a shot like a marksman, but I came with a dark skin stallion. Her dress, it came with a caution. And yeah, I might look accessible, and you bad, and you might look flexible, and the cash that I spent look attractive, and you wonder how much more is in my mattress. And then I be noticing the vultures. Hit the gas, I ain't even got the dough shut. They like, I ain't gon' drive any that drunk. Knowing state troopers don't be no fun. And my girl ain't going, so GG drive while I'm snoring.
They make plays, but I can't go. Shut it down, shut it down, shut it down, shut it down. They may talk, but they don't know. Shut it down, shut it down, shut it down, shut it down. Was told the longer you live, the more you progress. Shit, I ain't supposed to be here. I'm from the projects. Long as you and I are an object, just know I got you every time that I get. A lot of folk try to object. We call selective amnesia, chose to forget. We were told no way we could survive. All it was gas it and put our thing in drive. My baby ride for real. If I can't roll, then she gon' take the wheel. Now, I ain't in the club looking for my next thrill. I'm busy at the crib getting something I can feel. Everybody celebrating dot life. IG, Snapchat, ass shot life. Meanwhile, I'm here 10 toes down. Me and my Wonder Woman shutting y'all hoes down. They make plays, but I can't go. Shut it down, shut it down, shut it down, shut it down. They may talk, but they don't know. Shut it down, shut it down, shut it down, shut it down.
IntellectualRadio.com. Feed your brain.
Welcome back to Be Honest Radio, right here on IntellectualRadio.com. We're about to jump right into the topic. Ain't none of your friends' business, but right before that, we have a caller. Crystal?
Hey.
Caller, you there?
Yes, I'm here. How y'all doing?
We good. How are you?
Know that.
Just spreading some love to the Chi-Town peoples there. From Dade County, shout out to Addie.
Salute,
Mr. Hollywood. Big fan of yours.
respect, bro.
I'm just encouraging you all to do what it is that you do. At a high level. You got fans out here.
Appreciate you, King. Appreciate you.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
All right. No doubt. Take care.
All right. So there's no coinkadink. We have my bestie on the line on the air today. So today we're we're transitioning right into talking about ain't none of your friends' business. Ain't none of your friends' business. So we want to talk about the boundaries and all of that good stuff. Hood raised. I know you can add some stuff. You got some experience. You kind of aged yourself a little bit, but
First of all, you ain't got to be
Jay,
throwing it out there like that.
Oh, we already know you old, so
Right.
I mean it's alright.
We ain't old just because y'all breath smell like Similac. You know what I'm saying? Youngins. Talking about when she was 10, knowing she only 13 right now.
Whatever.
Come on.
Whatever. All right. So, what is the friend's role when you're in a relationship? What do you think?
I'll let you take that.
Your friend is to be supportive of whatever decision you make in your relationship. They're not to help you make the decision.
Okay.
Like it's a difference. Like if let's just say you and your guy arguing about something, right? It's not your friend's place to get in. Girl, leave him alone. He ain't worth all that. It's for her job is to say, hey, if you love him, stick with him. I'm gonna support you. If you're tired and you ready to go, I help you pack your bags. Your job is to be supportive, not to be like, I told you nothing way back then. You know what I'm saying? I seen him looking at old girl in the club. You know, all that the extra ain't necessary.
Right.
Yeah.
Jay, what you think? What's the friend's role?
To be supportive and to be wise. You have to have wise friends.
Yes.
And you do, because your friends will help. Some of these ladies need their friends, believe it or not, because they be ready to leave guys and they shouldn't leave them, especially if he's taking care of kids that ain't his.
Ooh, and the shade enters.
I'm just saying, some friends will help you make a great decision when you're mad. Like, because a lot of people make bad decisions when they're angry. Mm-hmm. So your friend is supposed to be supportive enough to say, hey,
be a soundboard.
Calm down. Mm-hmm. And, think about this. You gonna go back to your mama's house if you break up with him. And she got bed bugs. So,
So they got to deal with crap just because he helped them take care of the baby.
I'm just saying. It may not be crap. What I'm saying is when you're angry, sometimes you make bad decisions while you're angry. Mm-hmm. And a wise friend will help you through those decisions.
Okay.
True, if you choose to share it with them.
Right.
But I will say that I think I can say from experience, because we've been friends for a long time.
She's a terrible friend. I'm gonna say right she's a terrible friend.
No, Chrissy has been a wonderful friend.
Jay, no. We wouldn't even be together if I was a terrible friend.
We don't play.
He knows.
So I think I can say personally for our friendship, my role has been, and your role has been, like, we can come to each other and say that, hey, we got somebody interested in, right? We're interested in. I think at that point, you're just supportive of your friend. You don't know the guy. You don't know his personality. You don't know if she likes him. Right. So at that point, you're just a supportive friend. So I feel like there are phases in it. Mm-hmm. Okay, now once you move past like phase 1 and your girl talking about the same dude for like 2 to 4 months, then obviously he kind of done made it through the first few chapters of the muddy water, so to speak. So I feel like at that point, your friend is just there to be supportive and to also, they may see things that you can't see
because love is blind.
Right, because love is very blinded, and they are your like they give you an extra boost of accountability if you've forgotten self, So I feel like friends are just there to be supportive, and they can see things and help you through certain things if you get stuck or whatever the thing may be. You might need some advice or whatever, and so you call your girlfriends and you're like, hey girl, what would you? This what's going on. What would you do?
What?
No, I'm thinking about at the Friendsgiving, and me and the person went to the liquor store, and one guy was left behind.
That's
terribly wrong.
I know exactly.
Terribly wrong for that guy.
Okay.
It went very wrong. Y'all should have took him with y'all.
Stop.
Yeah, it just hit me.
It was hilarious.
But yeah, shout out to whatever his name is. But
Stop, Jay.
well, I remember and Michelle, you was like, yeah, he's a good one, like right in front of me. So I guess if I was a terrible one, you would have said the same thing.
No, I wouldn't have said it in front of you if you
okay.
were terrible.
Okay.
And like Chrissy knows, like normally, like I'm not gonna grill somebody, man. Like that's my girl, but there's a line you don't cross. So I'm not gonna sit there and interrogate you or anything like that.
Wait a minute. But at one point it was like that.
At one point it was, but I could tell naturally from him and what he had given you that was completely different from everyone else. Yeah. I was like, oh, he grown.
Yeah.
That was my first reaction.
Wow.
Like, I'm sorry. Like I was just like, oh, he grown.
Right.
He big grown.
Right. He grown.
Like, okay. You know, so after that it just became like, oh, I'm gonna support this. Yeah, I'm 100% in. Oh, baby, got my approval. I'm good.
Yeah. So speaking of which, when is it okay for a friend to meet the partner of the friend? When is it okay to meet your? Do you understand the question? Sorry, I answered that kind of question.
You mean like how much the length of time? You mean
the length of time? Like when is it appropriate?
Like, are you meeting them when
when you're dating the first week? Do y'all double date first?
It's when the minute it starts to become semi-serious.
Okay.
Like it doesn't, not initially. You know what I mean? Semi-serious. Somebody that, you know, when few dates in, a couple weeks in, and you can see, okay, there's no malarkey here. Yeah. It's actually, this is something that can be built upon. Maybe now that's when you want an extra set of eyes in.
Yeah.
That's when the voice of reason, the other person who knows your tendencies, as well as, you know, you want somebody to be there like, okay, all right, let's see what's to them.
Because you might be blind. You might be blinded by the lust in this person and be making terrible decisions.
Exactly.
And so you might need because you probably somebody been getting it dropped off in their drawers and they can't see straight. Or the guy been getting it put on them, he can't see straight.
That's the truth though.
And he needs stuff like, hey man, is she a good girl? Like, it's just what it is.
Yeah. Right. What I will say is that there have been times where Michelle be like,
I got short arms. I can't.
Sorry.
You gotta hit the phone. Yeah.
Hey, we got a caller.
You do.
Hi, how are you?
I'm wonderful. This is darling Nikki. I'm a part of Team at Ease.
What's up, boss lady?
Hey.
How you doing?
Hey.
I'm all right. I just want to give the poets a shout out.
Thank you.
You're so nice.
That's beautiful.
Stuff.
Commend them on a wonderful job with the poetry. And poetry is not all about cheese and crackers, Mr. Hoodray. Okay, just so you know. Because I read too and write. So, and I don't always share. But you guys are doing a great job. And stop lying about the relationships, because I'm telling.
Okay.
Tell, girl. Tell, sis.
You know what?
Right.
I'm gonna write a poem about you.
I'm sure you will, because I got several about you.
Thanks for calling.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Do poets have rap beef or poet beef? Y'all be
Absolutely.
going at it?
Oh, it is a cardinal rule.
Yeah.
You do not cross a poet. You will have a poem written about you.
Yeah.
I've seen them get really, really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad. Like some people can go to blows outside. Like for real, it was bad.
Lyrically.
Wow.
I cut a few folks with my.
So there's been a time when I was dating somebody, and I had Michelle to come over to my house, and he and I had been together for quite some time, like maybe 6 months or so. And Michelle was living in Atlanta at the time, so she had heard me talk about him and things like that. And then when she came in town, I had her to come over and meet him. I'm thinking it's going to be cool because sometimes the friend's role to me is to kind of interview the guy, not to necessarily grill him, but to, see what they're about. Okay. So, and that's how it's been for my friends. And now mind you, we were like 22, 23, something like this. Okay.
Yeah.
So The guy got so offended. He was so offended. Him and Michelle ended up going into
crazy.
it. And I was like, why are you so offensive? It wasn't even bad. She was just like, so what do you do? It was just like get to know you questions.
I was just talking to the brother.
And he was so offended.
Was so mad. Like literally.
And you said, how old you say you were?
We were like 20.
But let me tell you, I have been consistently me. Right?
Yeah.
This entire time. I like what you see, Jay, this is what you get. Like I don't fake nothing for the ghost of nobody. And I'm not gonna bite my tongue for nothing. And so I was so nice to this guy, and I felt like it was a personal thing because I didn't ask him like, hey, how much money you make? Right. What kind of car you drive? Asking. What's your social security number? I just literally was like, hey, how you doing? And we sat down at the table, and I think we were talking about I think I was talking about school or something, and then I asked him, I was like, oh, so what are you in school? Are you in school? What's what? I mean anybody we know in our circle at that age was in college. It was not unnormal for me to ask if the boy was in school or not, and it sounded like he was mad.
Yeah, he was really upset.
Trigger word. School might have been a trigger word.
I didn't know what else to say, and he was so mad that I couldn't even. I think he ended up leaving. I couldn't even answer.
Yeah, he was like, "You have fun with your friend, and I'm gonna talk to you later." I was like,
I couldn't even ask him no questions.
Okay. He was so upset.
I
was like, I don't understand.
Pride is a tricky thing. Like honestly, and I could say from a male standpoint, I would not care to be questioned and interrogated by my girlfriend's friend.
But has that ever happened?
Especially if it's the single friend, because that matters.
Yeah.
Okay.
That like
single for a reason.
Two things. One thing I say for myself, I always say, you can't take relationship advice from somebody who's sleeping alone in their sheets. So what advice can you give me that you're not taking yourself?
Right.
So like certain things you have to take into consideration, and then it's not always the question; it's the way that it's delivered. I mean, because sometimes the friend, like, we had already seen the personality this one has right here. So a question could be with a neck roll in it and all that. That can make the conversation veer. It could.
I was so friendly, and I think he just had gotten triggered, and it wasn't even like grilling him. Like we were having a conversation, and all of a sudden, like I'm talking about natural.
Now, mind you, she had just came. This was like my first time even seeing her in a while because she was living in Atlanta. So she was just like, "Oh, I heard about you." Just get to know you questions.
And I was just like, "Wow."
He was so.
I'm just trying to be the voice.
But that makes sense.
Get some voice to the other end because I'm not sure.
And let me also say this: like my personal background, like any of my close friends know, like I've had some serious relationships. So like you said, there's a reason why I'm single, and I'm not gonna be on this soapbox like it's about some choice, but I have made choices to release things that weren't meant for me. So I've had like serious relationships, like I'm personally divorced, and so she can come to me for anything, and she know that I'm gonna tell her straight, like, and it's not gonna be a biased opinion because I don't have any bias against any of my exes or anything like that. Like I'm gonna come real objective with it and tell her like, okay, girl, I think you tripping. If she say, is it just me? Yeah, that's just you.
I'm kind of like that. I tell my friend, and I'm not biased. I just tell them the truth. Like the situation with a certain friend that she knows about, and this person hit me up and asked her opinion. Well, she's dating a guy that has 10 kids by 9 different women.
Ooh.
And she was like, he never returned my texts. He act like he don't want to be with me. I'm like, she's like, I'm not ready to close that door. I'm like, the door's closed. What are you talking about?
Got bolts on it.
So it's just like some people need to hear that hard truth.
Yeah.
Ooh, girl, give it up.
Yeah. And I sent her the message. She's like, you was wrong.
Let it go.
So, what do you think about this question? Should a friend tell if their partner was cheating?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, again, my assessment from the beginning is still the same. Is whatever he or she chooses to do with the information is on them, and I support that decision. But like I'm I'm like this. Ooh, 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 ooh. It was taking a picture. I'm look, it's over there. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, absolutely.
Over there. You're like, girl, this is what he had on.
What he had on.
His shoes. This is what he
Where did
left
he say he
with.
was at?
Right.
Like, he had on a shade of green, lime green, matter of fact, collar, everything. I'm giving details.
And then Michelle is one that will go to the T with the time. It's 8:55 and 37 seconds.
Central Standard Time.
Right. Central Standard Time.
I'd be very specific.
Yeah.
No, but I would tell absolutely, because your loyalty is to your friend. If that's your friend, that's who you're supposed to be loyal to.
Yeah.
And I'd be doggone if one of my friends like knew that my guy was like creeping and doing anything inappropriate and you didn't tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would be mad at you.
Yeah.
It would change my view of our friendship, honestly, because I don't think you should play with relationships when you're the friend of the person in a relationship.
Yeah.
I don't think you should, play like that.
I've seen that backfire before.
I was gonna
like, and with me it was family. Like there was a particular situation with a cousin of mine. I didn't know he was dating this particular woman. I had seen them like at a couple places together, and that's where I actually met her. But she came and like shot a shot and came bold. Like, and so we did what we did. And then I want to say a couple weeks later, I seen her with my cousin. And I was just like, are y'all dating? And she was just like, yeah. I was like, oh, cuzzo, hey.
Yeah, let me holler at you, bro.
Bogus. Like she
Did she know y'all was cousins?
Yeah. She met me through him.
Seriously?
She met me through him.
And that's like kryptonite to a guy to find out.
But he wanted to fight me after. like it was I didn't hesitate. The minute she told me that they was dating, I told him right then and there, hey, she out of pocket. Let me tell you, she came and she did so and so, and this is what happened. And he wanted to fight me. Like we didn't get along for like 2 years after that. I was really
that hurt for a guy. Like if a guy think he found a one and then found out that somebody he know didn't went up in her, that hurts.
Yeah. You got the funniest way of saying things.
That's kryptonite.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna kill you. I know it ain't your fault, but you gotta die. Like,
yeah. You can't do that. Okay.
Should a friend know everything?
No, I don't think so.
Thank God.
Yeah.
nobody.
I don't think I know everything.
Jay, shut up.
Now, okay, for the record, Jay, I don't know everything that goes on in y'all home.
No.
You don't know that she beats me in the middle of the night. Do you know that?
Well, yes,
you the
because
one
you posted on Facebook.
Right, you the one telling people. And
you have been,
fight me.
You have been, and I'm pretty sure you probably hitting her back with that pillow
and
everything.
Snatching
and
all the covers.
I
gotta fight him every night.
I'm just grateful that the cat, whatever his or her name is not injured
King.
by all of your activities of fighting and stuff in the bed.
He runs. He be like, I'm
good
done
job,
with y'all.
But no, I don't think as a friend, and like I have different levels of friendships. So like Crystal is a best friend. Like that's a she gets a honor. It's an elevation of some sort. So even with her at that, I don't expect her to tell me everything. There's certain things I don't think I really want to know.
Right. Right.
I don't need no ins and out playbook of like everything going on. But like we'll have our girl talking, so you'll hear about like general things.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think this is a topic that we should talk about again. Yeah, but right now we have to wrap it up. But before we go, please give your social media info so people can get in touch with you and get in tune with you.
Queen.
All right. So I can never remember my Instagram name. Sorry. All right. So my Instagram name is forever MI_Shell CHELLE 7. I will approve anybody who wants to follow me. And my Facebook name, you can find me by Michelle GAINES, and that's me. I
am hood raised everywhere. No crazy spelling. HOODRAISED. Hood raised. I am a published author. I'm a full-time spoken word artist. If you want to support the artistry, you can hit my website, hoodraispoetry.com. You go to books, CDs, t-shirts, everything, pins, everything you need there. I'm available for all bookings, and I'm looking forward to building with you all.
Yep. Of course, you can find me at I Am Crystal Iris everywhere. To purchase my book, The Boss at Breakthrough, www.thebossadbreakthrough.com.
Jay Davis, Jay Davis TP on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also go to jdavisfilms.com. Tune in next week, same time, to Be Honest Radio, right here on IntellectualRadio.com.
I can't help but second guess my choice.